Yeah. I'm your guy, Tone DeShields II. You guys are locked in on another dose of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Super grateful to be here with you guys. Y'all know how I give it up. Always grateful to be in the presence of beautiful people. Always grateful to be in the presence of some beautiful souls. Man, oh man, we're here to talk some football. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know how I'm giving it up. Super grateful. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the Chalk It Up Sports YouTube channel. Also, make sure you guys hit that notification bell. You guys know what that's for, right? My YouTube veterans, you guys know what that bell is for. It reminds you whenever the content drops. So if you want to be a part of the gang, if you want to be a part of the clique, smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. And also make sure you hit that notification bell next to the subscribe button so you can know whenever and however I drop the content. On top of that, make sure you guys are following me on Twitter as well. The content is flowing on Twitter. Make sure you guys smash that heart button, I guess, on X or on Twitter, however you want to describe it. I'm still calling it Twitter. That's just what I know it as. If we're still tweeting, it's called Twitter. That's how I process it. But nonetheless, we got 20 people locked into the live stream right now. Thank you guys so much. Continue to stay engaged. We have so much to talk about when it comes to your Philadelphia Eagles. They made some moves over the past 48 hours that we need to touch on. Right? So let's just get right into it here. Let's not waste any time. Let's start with the most recent. The Philadelphia Eagles decided to sign former Giants, former Colts wide receiver, Parris Campbell. Now, before we start ripping the signing, before we start saying that he's trash, right? And I say that tongue in cheek. Before we start jumping out the window saying what he isn't or what he is, let's talk about what he has done. And let's talk about the measurables. Parris Campbell, again, formerly played for the Giants and the Colts, 6'1", 205 pounds, 26 years old, went to college at Ohio State. He spent 4 seasons with the Colts from 2019 to 2022, and he spent 1 season with the Giants in 2023. Now, this is not going to jump off the page, but just follow me here. Through his 5-year career, he's logged 117 receptions on 171 targets, just over 1,000 receiving yards, averages just above 9 yards a catch, 5 TDs, and he's accumulated those stats through 44 games played and 27 starts of those 44 games played. His most productive season came in his final season with the Colts in 2022. He registered 63 catches on 91 targets, 623 yards receiving, averaged almost 10 yards a catch, 3 touchdowns, and he accumulated those stats through 17 games played and 16 starts. Now, look, when you look at his numbers at face value, they do not jump off the page. That's the reality, right? His stats do not jump off the page whatsoever, especially for having a 5-year career in the NFL. Devontae Smith has done his entire career in 1 year, in 1 season. So when you think about a guy like Parris Campbell, you say to yourself, okay, what does he bring to the table? I say he brings length. He brings youth to the slot position. He also brings some veteran savvy, being a 5-year veteran in the league. He brings some toughness as well. He brings some versatility. I was looking at some of his film with the Colts and the Giants. He was used, especially with the Colts, he was used in some jet sweep situations. They used him in bubble screen situations. Also, they had no problem throwing him that ball in the middle of the field, in the slot. There were some times he fights for the ball. You feel what I'm saying? He can be a bit of a body catcher based on what I've seen. He can be a little bit of a body catcher. But he's physical. He's not afraid to get touched out there. He's not afraid of the physical contact. When he catches the ball, he's trying to make something happen. And he protects the ball. Every time I see him with the rock, he has two hands on it. So, what does his signing mean for the wide receiver room? Because overall, the Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver room needed some improvement. Because after Devontae Smith, what did you have? But now, after A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, you have Devontae Parker and you have Parris Campbell. Devontae Parker and Parris Campbell. Now, Devontae Parker, 31 years old. Parris Campbell, 26 years old. You guys can do the math on that. So, the way I see it, Parris Campbell is directly going to challenge Devontae Parker. Directly. Now, how many receivers will the Eagles have on the roster? How many receivers will be active? That's the $1 million question. Because we know Brent Covey has a roster spot because of his return and his punt return ability. So Brent Covey automatically makes the roster because of that. He's proven he can be a legitimate punt returner. That's his bread and butter. You're not asking Brent Covey to be a receiver out there. You're not asking him to run too many routes. You're asking him to be a punt returner. So he should make the roster as a special teamer, right? So A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, obviously. So that begs the question. Devontae Parker, Parris Campbell, are they automatic roster locks? Are they competing directly with each other? Will the Eagles draft a wide receiver to add, to supplement that room, right? And here's the reality, you guys. We got to keep it in perspective. You can't have Pro Bowlers at every wide receiver position. You can't. You got to have some guys that can do the dirty work. That's where Parris Campbell and Devontae Parker come in at. So here's the thing. When A.J. Brown went down, or when Devontae Smith went down, there's no wide receiver after A.J. Brown. So they needed an improvement in the wide receiver depth. I understand a lot of you guys feel like the defense is a priority, and it is. We're going to get into the two additional defensive signings that he had with Tyler Hall and P.J. Mustipher. P.J. Mustipher is a nose tackle, D tackle. Tyler Hall is a corner, a nickel corner to be specific. So he's adding to the defense. He's trying to improve the depth. That's what was missing on the Philadelphia Eagles, was it not? Depth. I'm sorry, Flexen. I don't care what drug you're smoking. Devontae Parker is an improvement over Quez Watkins. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that hurts somebody's feelings here. Devontae Parker has done more than Quez Watkins ever has and probably ever will. Let's not get cute here. Let's not get cute here. We're going to talk about it honestly. Quez Watkins' best season is an average season for Devontae Parker. So look again. Look at the wide receiver room now and look at it last season. And you tell me if it wasn't an improvement. They needed to improve depth all across the board. The defense, yes, they had their issues. I'm not denying that. This isn't about that. We're going to talk about that. We're trying to focus on the wide receiver room in this conversation right now. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed if you like the content, if you like the energy. I bring a lot of it. And also make sure you guys hit that notification bell. But all I'm saying is, when I think about the wide receiver room from last season, and I think about what it looks like now, how can it not be an improvement? You bring in Parris Campbell, 5 years of experience. Do his numbers jump off the page? No, but he's never been a number one, never been a number two. He's been a quintessential number three throughout his entire career. He's been good enough to make it on NFL rosters year after year. Devontae Parker, say what you want about him. Teams clearly been wanting him every single season. Miami, the Patriots. Say what you want about him. He's battled injuries. That's not a lie. That's a fact. He's battled that. But when you're trying to supplement your wide receiver room, you got to take some shots. And you got to bring some proven product. You got to bring some proven products in the building. So I like adding Parris Campbell. I like adding Devontae Parker. You want to know why? Because not only did you add better hands, you added more size in flexing. Are we really going to talk about his production with the Giants? Are we really going to talk about his production with the Giants, where they had a revolving door at quarterback? Daniel Jones, Danny DeVito, Tyrod Taylor. Come on, man. Come on now. When he had a quarterback and Matt Ryan, he actually put up some decent numbers. Okay, Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi. I mean, come on. Come on. Y'all call Mac Jones trash. Y'all call Bailey Zappi trash. But y'all want Devontae Parker to produce and go crazy. I'm not saying he's the number one. I'm not saying he's the number two. I'm not saying he's the number three. We got to put it in perspective. Let's go down the pecking order of this Eagles offense. Perspective is everything, you guys. I know you guys look at it as wide receiver 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's think about the pecking order first. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. You can argue between Dallas Goedert and Saquon Barkley. But for this argument, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, and then maybe Parris Campbell, and then maybe Devontae Parker. So that's option 5 and 6. Now, those are options 5 and 6. You mean to tell me Parris Campbell and Devontae Parker aren't good enough to be 5th and 6th options? Come on. And y'all gonna stop calling my quarterback trash. Y'all gonna stop calling my quarterback trash. Y'all wasn't saying he was trash when he took him to the Super Bowl. He has one down season and he trash now? What are we talking about? Come on. He has one bad season with the turnovers and he's trash now. Every quarterback, you go down any quarterback's career. They all got that one season or two where they got more turnovers than normal. Come on. Jalen Hurts' first year starting, only 9 turnovers. Jalen Hurts' second year starting, only 6 turnovers. His third year starting, okay, he had 19 turnovers. He had a down season. It happens to the best of them. Why are we trying to pretend like it doesn't happen to the best of them? Like, come on, let's keep it funky. Let's keep it funky. Like, come on. Like I said, every quarterback in this league has had bad stretches. Every quarterback in this league has had that season where we said, "Damn, okay, that's out of character. I think he can get back." Like, stop it. Stop it. And then y'all talk about the whole notion, well, he can't make nobody better. Name me 10 quarterbacks in this league that make people better. It's not many that do that. It's not many that are capable of doing that. And I'm not even saying he can't do that. But here's my retort to that, right? Here's my retort to those that say he doesn't make people better. Here's my retort to that. A.J. Brown was in the league for how long before he got to the Eagles? Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. A.J. Brown was in the league for how long? A.J. Brown was in the league for how long before he got to Philly? Don't worry, I'll tell you. He was in the league for 3 seasons before he got to Philly. Before he got to Philly, he was in the league for 3 seasons. In 2019, as a rookie, 52 catches, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. 2020, 70 catches, 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns. 2021, 63 catches, 869 yards, 5 touchdowns. But when he got to Philly, when he was playing with Jalen Hurts, when A.J. Brown got himself a quarterback, 88 catches, almost 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns, average 17 yards a catch. That's 2022 numbers. In 2023, 106 catches, 1,456 yards, 7 touchdowns. What do you mean he doesn't make people better? What do you mean he doesn't make people better? A.J. Brown has had back-to-back career years because of Jalen Hurts. Come on. Now we moving the goalposts. Now the O-line. Now all this other stuff. Y'all say he doesn't make people better. Look, I may be critical of Jalen Hurts, but I'm not going to let people lie on him. I'm not going to let people make anything up the way they want to make stuff up. He doesn't make people better. A.J. Brown had 2 career years back-to-back with Jalen Hurts on a bad year. Stop it. But Justin Herbert can ride through seasons clean. Nobody talk about Justin Herbert. He can't win a game. Come on. We were a 4-win team. Thank you, LJ. We was a 4-win team before Jalen took over. Huh? Why we switching up like this? Why are we switching up like this? Y'all was glazing that man in 2022. Even when he had a pretty mediocre first year starting, y'all was glazing him in 2021. But 2023, all the numbers are pretty much the same, but the turnovers, Jalen, you got to tighten that up. Got to clean that up. No one's denying the turnovers. He has to clean that up. But look at any quarterback in this league. Look at any one of them. And they've had a season like that where all their numbers were the same. Oh, the turnovers. They had a spike. They had a spike in the turnovers. It happens to the best of them. It happens. There's a learning curve in this league here. All I'm trying to say is get a young brother some grace. Get a brother some grace. He put up more touchdowns in 2023, more pass attempts, more completions, and he completed his passes at the same clip. In 2022, he completed 66%. In 2023, he completed 65%, above league average, both years. More passing yards, more touchdowns total. But the turnovers, I get it. I don't care what he's saying. That's what you don't understand. Y'all trying to, I know exactly what he's saying, and I'm calling cat. I know exactly what he's saying, and I'm calling cat. All I'm saying is this, right? Y'all quick to say one great season don't make a man. Think about what you're saying out your mouth. If one great season don't make the man, one bad season can't make the man. You can't have it both ways, kids. If y'all saying one season don't prove shit, right? All right, so keep that same energy then. If one great season don't prove shit, one bad season don't prove shit. So I'm calling Cat. I'm calling Cat. Hey, what's his name? Cognac Familia. Don't play yourself, kid. Hurts and Smitty right here. Don't play yourself, kid. Don't play yourself, kid. It's called style, my G. It's called style, my G. You flip the script here and there. Hurts and Smitty, you know how I'm giving it up. You know how I'm giving it up. Don't play yourself. You new here. You new here, Cognac Familia. You're new here. Sit back and watch the grown people talk for a second. So all I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is this, right? Parris Campbell added to the mix. I like it. Devontae Parker added to the mix. I like it. I'm rolling. I'm rolling with it. And look, LJ, when people got time to make multiple accounts, hey, I let them do that. That's their own free time, man. I let them do that. It's the internet. When people listen, it's the internet. People make many accounts. You got to let people do them. We got 107 people in the live chat on Twitter. We got 33 people. I'm sorry, we got 107 people live from YouTube, and we got 33 people live from the Twitter side. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. All I'm saying is, if y'all saying one great season don't make the man, one bad season can't make the man. Remember, y'all was the one saying, hey, it was his first year starting. Give him a break the first year starting. Don't we always give guys the benefit of the doubt after their first year being the starting quarterback? So we don't hold the year. So we don't hold year one against them, right? We don't do that. So all right, fair enough. And then he had the 2022 campaign. He did that. Okay. We always calling him top 10, top 5 at that time. Then he has a down season. All of a sudden, people want to say he's a bottom tier quarterback. When all the numbers line up except for the turnovers. He made some bad decisions in 2023. A lot of the footballs got tipped at the line and became interceptions in 2023. Need I remind you, he fumbled 9 times in 2022, and he also fumbled 9 times in 2023. You want to know the difference? In 2022, he recovered all of them. In 2023, he lost 4 of them. And also, when the center or the running back fumbles the handoff, that counts against the quarterback. So all I'm trying to say is contact matters. And Jalen Hurts is nowhere near as bad as some of y'all like to make him be. So that's all I'm trying to say. Keep the same energy. But Parris Campbell added to the Philadelphia Eagles. Like I said to you guys, if you're just joining the live stream, we're recapping the Philadelphia Eagles' latest free agent moves. We're recapping the latest free agent moves here. We started out talking about the Eagles signing former Colts, former Giants wide receiver Parris Campbell. He's 6'1", 205 pounds, 26 years old, played at Ohio State, gives you a lot of length, a lot of size at the position. He spent 4 seasons with the Colts in 2019 up until 2022, and he spent 1 season with the Giants in 2023. Through his 5-year career in the NFL, he's logged 117 receptions on 171 targets, just over 1,000 receiving yards, averaged 9 yards a catch, 5 touchdowns. He's done all this through 44 total games played and 27 starts. His most productive season came in his final season with the Colts in 2022, when he registered 63 catches on 91 targets, 623 receiving yards, averaged almost 10 yards a catch, 3 receiving touchdowns, and he did all this through 17 games played and 16 starts in 2022. So like I said, Parris Campbell is fortifying. He's fortifying the wide receiver room. He's adding some depth to that room. Parris Campbell, Devontae Parker. Parris Campbell is directly going to compete with Devontae Parker for more reps, which I like. I like the fact that everything will be earned here. Everything will be earned here. I like what they're doing. I like that they're trying to fortify the bottom of the roster. What made the Philadelphia Eagles so good in 2022 and what made them so good in 2017? 2022, health was on their side. 2017, they had tremendous roster depth down to the second and third guys. So just as much care as you take to the top of the roster, you got to take that same level of care with the bottom of the roster. You're only as good as your worst guy. You're only as good as the bottom of your roster. You got to invest in the bottom of your roster just as much as you invest in the top of your roster. And the bottom of your roster is going to be filled with 4th, 5th, 6th round guys, 7th round guys that you bring in on 1 year, 2 year deals. You have to fortify your roster. And this is what they're trying to do. When the season ended, you could look at every position group and say, where's the depth? When the season ended, and you looked at that depth chart, there was no depth anywhere. Not in the quarterback room, not in the receiver room, not in the running back room, not in the in the linebackers or the safeties. There was no depth. So when you bring in a guy like Parris Campbell, when you bring in a guy like Devontae Parker, when you bring in guys like Tyler Hall and PJ Mustipher, when you bring in those kind of guys, that's fortifying your roster. Come on now. There we go. Sorry about that, you guys. You're adding depth to the roster. You're increasing the competition. Everything on the Philadelphia Eagles has to be earned. Has to be earned. Flat out. That's all it is. Shout out to my man S. Blount with the $9.99 super chat. He says, Tone, thoughts on drafting a deep threat wide receiver who can also punt return? Let me see here. Sorry, you guys. Let me double check something. My fault. Okay. All right. So yeah, again, sorry about that, S. Blount. I'm gonna get back to your super chat. Thank you again for donating $9.99, my friend. He says, Tone, thoughts on drafting a deep threat wide receiver who can also punt return. Covey can be replaced. The thought would be that we could also have someone step up if Brown or Smith go down. I love that. I love that, Blount. I love that, Blount. Oh, Blunt, my bad, Blunt, my bad. My you know what, like LeGarrette Blunt, my bad. You know, you paid. So it's the least I can do is pronounce it right. Right, Blunt? That's Blunt. It's the least I can do. Like LeGarrette Blunt, right? That's the least I can do. My bad, player. My bad. You know, players fuck up. My bad, man. My bad. So I love that thought, Blunt. I love that. I love that thought. I think they do need to draft the wide receiver. I do think that. You want to know why? Because at the end of the day, as much as we love AJ Brown, we don't know if he's going to be here once the Devontae Smith contract starts to take effect. We don't know that for a fact. We don't know it for a fact. So I think you do need to draft a wide receiver to add some depth, to add some competition, you know, to add some more youth. And maybe he becomes a guy you can develop and he can step up into maybe a number 2 role if Devontae Smith ever becomes the number 1. See, that's a reality we have to face. That there is a chance that once Devontae Smith's contract starts to take effect, will AJ Brown be here for an extended period of time beyond his contract? That's something that has to be considered, but we're nowhere near that yet. So I don't want to stress you guys out. I don't want to stress you guys out about that. But nonetheless, you know what's funny? All Flexing can ever say about AJ Brown is he's a diva. That's all he could say. That's all he could say. But when he catching that rock and making those plays, I bet you Flexing the first one at home doing the Harlem Shake, jumping from his head to the ceiling. That's the funny thing about it, man. He all he could ever say about it was call him a blunt. But guess what? When AJ Brown making plays, Blunt Flexing the first one. The first one. The first one. He the first one jumping from the ceiling, knees to chest. Knees to chest. AJ Brown catch the one-hander. Oh my God, he's the best receiver in the league. I know you're type Flexing. I know you. I know you better than you think I know you. I know I'm better than you think I know you. Anyway, man, thank you, Blunt. I really appreciate the $9.99 super chat, my guy. I really do. But no, here's the thing. Again, I want to get back on topic here. Parris Campbell, Devontae Parker, that adds to the wide receiver room, regardless of how you slice it. So that's that. Now, the next guy I want to talk about for the Philadelphia Eagles. I want to talk about the corner, the nickel corner they brought in, formerly played for the Raiders. Tyler Hall. Tyler Hall is 5'10", 190 pounds, 25 years old, went to the University of Wyoming. At his Wyoming, he didn't get invited to the draft, I don't believe, but at his Wyoming pro day, he ran a 4.40. So he has good speed at the position. So far through his 4-year career, Tyler Hall has only appeared in 31 total games with 6 career starts. So he doesn't have that many miles on him. Hall primarily spent his time operating in the nickel for the Atlanta Falcons in 2020, the Los Angeles Rams in 2021, and spent 2 seasons with the Raiders in 2022 and 2023. So 78%, over 75% of his total snaps played took place in the nickel. He has some special teams experience. He has some special teams experience as well, but got most of his defensive snaps with the Raiders in 2022 and 2023. Those were his best years. Those were his most productive seasons. That's where he got the most opportunity playing for the Raiders in back-to-back seasons. And the Raiders thought he was good enough to bring back. So, again, another guy that you bring in to add depth to the position. Here's something we got to keep in mind. Avonte Maddox. Well, you know what? Before we even get to that, right? No, let's start there. I'll take that back. Avonte Maddox all year was hurt, and it was a revolving door at the nickel position. They had Mario Goodrich there. They tried Bradley Roby there. They tried Sidney Brown there. They even tried James Bradbury old ass there. They tried that. So my point is, you cut Avonte Maddox because why pay him the money if you know he ain't gonna be able to bid when you know he ain't gonna be there to make it? And then Zech McPherson. He's coming off of an ACL or an Achilles tear or something like that. Zech McPherson was out for the whole year. So you lost a lot of depth at that nickel spot, and you couldn't solidify it. You couldn't figure it out. You were throwing things at the wall to hope that it sticks. So, and make sure you guys hit that like button. I really appreciate it. We have over 100 people in here from YouTube, 46 people in here from Twitter. Please, you guys, make sure you hit that like button when you come in. It takes a split second of your time. Make sure you guys hit that like button. It really helps the content grow. It really helps new people find the show. It helps my YouTube channel grow as well. It helps the community grow. So make sure you guys smash that like button. It does more. It does more than you guys probably think. It really helps the algorithm. It helps YouTube decide if they're going to push my content forward. So just make sure you keep hitting that like button, and make sure you guys comment as well. Always comment. And also make sure you guys are subscribed. You know what I'm saying? Again, it helps YouTube understand that this community that we're growing here is legit and that it's going to keep growing. But make sure you give YouTube the heads up by hitting that like button. So yeah, Tyler Hall, as of right now, he's a camp body. As of right now, he's a camp body. But he's going to be competing with a lot of people. He's going to be competing with a lot of people. At that corner position, Tyler Hall is going to be competing with Keely Ringo, Mekhi Gardner, Zach McPherson, Eli Ricks, Josh Jobe, Mario Goodrich, Tywan Mullen, Isaiah Rodgers. There's going to be competition. And that's why I titled this live stream, "The Eagles are raising the bar." And everything has to be earned. Everything on this roster has to be earned. And that's why you have him flexing. You got him there because you got to increase the level of competition in the building. You can't let people think that you're going to just have a spot locked up here. That goes for Zach McPherson. He was the backup nickel, but now who knows? Avonte Maddox is gone. That nickel position is wide open. That's something that we don't talk about much, but we're here now. Can Tyler Hall compete for that starting nickel spot? Absolutely. Absolutely. Can Keely Ringo compete with that nickel spot? Compete for that nickel spot? Possibly. I think they prefer him outside, but can he compete for grass time? Absolutely. Isaiah Rodgers? Absolutely. Eli Ricks, all those guys. It's a competition. Again, every position is not going to be A+ or even B+. But you have to be smart about how you fortify the roster and how you add talent. The real RMP says, remember Greedy Williams? Yeah, I remember. But guess what? I remember him, but guess what? You got to keep taking swings. You got to keep taking swings. That's why I don't understand how some of you guys, not all, but I don't understand why some of you guys get mad for the team taking swings. No, it wasn't. Because at the end of the day, he was a body. He was a body. It wasn't like Greedy made the starting lineup or nothing. Like, he was a body. That's all. He was a body. And he didn't make the cut. It happens. It happens. He was a body and he didn't make the cut. Low risk. Thank you, Kelly Green. Low risk. Low risk. I don't understand it. LJ says linebacker and corner should be open competition. It is. That's at least that's what I think. That's what it looks like to me. That's what it looked like to me. The competition, the bar has been raised. So you bring in Parris Campbell, Devontae Parker to fortify that receiver room. You bring in Tyler Hall to add to that corner depth, to add to that competition, especially for the nickel. And then you signed former Saints D tackle or nose tackle PJ Mustipher. The Eagles signed former Saints nose tackle PJ Mustipher, 6'4", 318 pounds, 24 years old. Spent his college career at Penn State. And in 2023, he was signed as an undrafted free agent to the Denver Broncos. He sat in their practice squad until about December before being picked up by the New Orleans Saints for the rest of the season. PJ Mustipher appeared in 4 games for the Saints, where he registered 42 defensive snaps played. And during his time at Penn State, he was a first-team AP Big Ten selection in 2021, and he also made the second-team AP Big Ten in 2022. Again, he's an undrafted guy, but he was brought in by the Broncos, made their practice squad, and then he was brought in, and then the Saints picked him up off of the Broncos practice squad. So is Tyler Hall, is PJ Mustipher, is Parris Campbell or Devontae Parker or Zach Bond or Matt Hennessy, are those slam dunk signings? No. But every now and again, you got to settle for the layup. Every now and again, you got to settle. Every now and again, you got to bunt. You got to bunt. Every signing not going to be a single. Every signing not going to be a double or a triple. Every signing is not going to be a home run. But every now and again, you got to bunt. You got to bunt. And the most fascinating thing about a bunt in baseball is that you got a 50-50 shot of getting to first base. Either it works or it doesn't. And guess what? Bunts catch you off guard. Right? Some bunts catch a pitcher off guard. Catches a catcher off guard. You feel me? So I just want us to keep an open mind about what they're trying to do here. Chuck Hutton, thank you so much, my friend, for discovering the channel, my friend. Thank you. I really appreciate you for finding me, for giving me an opportunity. I don't take that for granted, my friend. So welcome to the channel, Chuck. Hopefully you throw me a subscribe. Hopefully you hit that like button. And also make sure you hit that notification bell so you can know whenever the content goes live, whenever the content hits the stratosphere. So thank you, Chuck. I really appreciate it. But overall, everything on this Eagles roster right now has to be earned. All these signings, even the big name ones, Saquon, CJ GJ, Devin White, they got to earn it. They got to earn it. And I'm not mad at the Eagles for taking swings on guys that have some experience, on guys that are young. You want to get younger. You want to add depth to your roster. The Eagles had to replenish the depth on the roster. If y'all get an opportunity, look at the depth of the team prior to free agency. Let me see if I can find it. Mm. Like I said, the bottom line is the rent is due every day. The Gator Boys, he says, "Hey Tone, came over from Sill Show. Glad to see you have your own platform here. You were always the voice of reason on Sill Show, and I love Sports Take with Rob as well." And I appreciate your kind words, Gator Boy. Thank you for your kind words, my friend. Thank you. You know, all I try to do is give you guys my perspective and just be as honest as I can. Again, shout out to my man S Blunt with the $9.99 super chat. I really appreciate him as well. And make sure you guys smash that like button, man. You guys are tremendous. We're at 80 likes right now, over 100 people in the live stream. If you guys are just hopping in, make sure you guys hit that like button. It really helps the content grow. Really helps new people find it, like our guy Chuck and like the Gator Boy. You know, hitting that like button is like injecting steroids into your channel. You guys always charge me up by hitting that like button, so make sure you guys do so. And also, my people on the Twitter side, thank you guys so much, man. You guys are tremendous. You guys are really helping the content grow as well on a multi-platform basis. So thank you guys so much on Twitter for showing love as you guys always do. It's tremendous. So yeah, overall, the Eagles are trying to add depth to the roster. Parris Campbell, I'm looking at I'm looking at his highlights, his tape, and I see a guy in Parris Campbell who's not afraid to get physical, not afraid to take a hit, always comes down with the ball, has speed, breakaway speed, always looking to make the big play whenever possible. And he bailed out Matt Ryan with the Colts on more than one occasion. And another thing about Parris Campbell that I like is that he is great in scramble drill. From what I've seen, he knows how to find the soft spot. He knows how to get open in the scramble drill. You know how that's a struggle for some wide receivers. Scramble drill, getting open. Parris Campbell knows how to do that. He knows how to come back to the ball. He can also track the deep ball as well. So I like what Parris Campbell brings: size, fearlessness. So he brings formidable speed to the slot. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And I'm totally not opposed to the Philadelphia Eagles drafting a wide receiver. I'm so not. Like, this is going to be a hell of this off season so far. This off season so far has been fascinating for the Philadelphia Eagles. You signed Saquon Barkley. You signed Bryce Huff. You signed C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Devin White, Devontae Parker, Zach Bond, Matt Hennessy, Parris Campbell, Tyler Hall, P.J. Mustipher. So you traded for Kenny Pickett as the backup quarterback. You signed Oren Burks at linebacker. So they're doing their best to try to add depth to this roster. They're doing their best to try to fix some of the issues that we had. I agree, Eagle Slayer. I agree. I think Matt Hennessy is an underrated move. I think Matt Hennessy is going to really challenge Tyler Steen for that right guard spot. Cody, what's going on? Cody, my guy. Welcome to the show, my friend. But I also think Matt Hennessy was an underrated move. I think Matt Hennessy is directly going to challenge Tyler Steen for that right guard spot. Now, here's the thing: Matt Hennessy has traditionally played center and left guard. So, how comfortable will he be transitioning to the right guard spot? It all remains to be seen. But I like the Matt Hennessy move as well. I think, to your point, Eagle Slayer, I think that center spot belongs to Cam Jurgens. I think that center spot belongs to Cam. Sunless Season, welcome to the show. Let me know if you're new. So I think it's my first time seeing your handle come across the live chat. So let me know if you're new, and let me know how you feel about the content. Make sure you smash that like button if you like, and also make sure you're subscribed if you like the content. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Sunless Season says, Tone, what are your thoughts on facing the Browns and that elite Jim Schwartz defense on week 1 in Brazil? Tough matchup, I think. Absolutely. That defense is legitimate. So it's not going to be it's not going to be an easy task to beat the Browns in Brazil. Now, granted, I'm glad that we're getting that out of the way in week 1. I'm really glad that we're getting the Brazil game out of the way, because those kind of games, you don't want those to pop up on your schedule midway through. You want to get that out of the way as soon as possible. So I do think it's going to be a tough matchup. I agree with you 100%, Sunless Season. I think the Eagles can still win the game. I do, because I'm not that much of a Deshaun Watson believer as much as I used to be. I don't know what Deshaun Watson is anymore. I just don't. Obviously, he's their best quarterback. He's their franchise quarterback. He's probably the most talented quarterback they've had in a long time, outside of Baker Mayfield. But I don't know what he is anymore. And they did just add Jerry Jeudy. So that's another dimension of their passing game that has to be taken into consideration. But I'm just not. I think the Eagles can beat them. I think they can beat them, and I think that's going to be a real tough game. I think it's going to be tough. But I think the Eagles can pull it out. But Myles Garrett is going to be somebody you got to watch, man. Jordan Mailata is going to have his hands full. Crawley, you bring up a good point. The Eagles can't shortchange practice this offseason. I think this is the offseason where you got to get as much grass time as you can with your guys. You got two new coordinators again. A new quarterback coach, a new D-line coach, a new DB coach. You gotta get these guys on grass, quick, fast, and in a hurry. This isn't the off season where the Philadelphia Eagles can just rest on their laurels. It's time to put the accent. It's time to put the swords in the fire. It's time to put the iron in the fire. It's time. It's gonna be hot this summer too. Ooh, it's time to put the iron in the fire, Philly. Because this, regardless of how I feel and how some of you guys feel, regardless of how we feel collectively, there's one truth that none of us can deny. And that is the iron must go into the fire. The rent must be paid. Everybody needs to go out and grind. Everybody needs to go out and eat, sleep, the grind. That's the one universal truth, regardless of how we feel. The one universal truth. They must prove it. Offense, defense, special teams, coaching staff. They must prove it. That's the one universal truth. Regardless of how I feel, regardless of my optimism, regardless of how you feel, regardless of your pessimism. They must prove it. Point blank, period. Let me ask you guys a question here. Who do you guys think? Oh, almost forgot my man Cody. My apologies, Cody, with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Cody. I really appreciate it. All right, Cody. Cody says, I hope the first offensive line taken in the draft is an interior guy, a guard, maybe with some center reps. Steen is nice, but was a tackle. Yeah, I understand. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles draft a tackle, though. You know, they have to start thinking about life after Lane Johnson. And you know, the Eagles, they're not the kind of team to wait until a guy retires and then try to replace him. They're going to try to get ahead of it they're probably going to try to draft the guy this year to replace him at right tackle. And then they'll be ready to transition. And by that point, whoever they do draft will have maybe another year or two, depending on how long Lane plays. Whoever they draft at O-line will have some experience, and then they'll be able to move on from Lane smoothly, or as smooth as they possibly can. So I don't hope it's a guard. Actually, I actually hope it's a tackle they draft, a right tackle. That's what I hope for. Like I said, the Eagles aren't the kind of team to wait until the player retires to replace him. Remember, they drafted Cam Jurgens, and Cam Jurgens is entering what, year 3? He's entering year 3 or year 2. I can't remember. Let me see. Yeah, he's entering year 3. He was drafted in 2022. So the Eagles got a 2-year head start on replacing Jason Kelce, and Cam is replacing him in his entering year 3. So I think that's the kind of path the Eagles want. They want to draft the guy maybe this year, you know, groom him and develop him, and hopefully by year 2 for the player, or even year 3, depending how long Lane stays, they'll be able to replace Lane smoothly, or as smooth as they possibly can. Thank you, Cody, for the $5 super chat, my friend. I really appreciate you. I think that's the smart move, though, right? Truth is coming, right? I think it is a smart move. I understand the guard thought, though. I get it. But you do have some bodies there that can compete for that. But I think a tackle would make more sense. I think a tackle will make more sense here. Oh, are they really? Oh man. Hey, hey, Cognac, for real? Cognac, for real? I'm talking about this. For real? Oh man. Hey, look, I'm just here for a good time, you guys. I'm just here for a good time. I don't want no smoke with nobody. I'm just here for a good time. The grind don't stop, regardless of where we playing at. You feel me? Regardless of what sandbox we in, we holding it down. That's all it is. I don't want no smoke with nobody. It's all love on this side. It's all love on this side. That's all. All I do is give love. All I do is give love. That's all. But nonetheless, let's continue with the conversation. Jason 18, my man, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. But where were we here? We have, let's see, we got 100 people. We got 95 people on the YouTube side locking in. I really appreciate you guys, man. Make sure you smash that like button. We got 51 people on the Twitter side showing love as well. Make sure you guys lock in. Keep hitting that like button if you can. If my Twitter people can do me a quick favor, if you can migrate to the YouTube side, hit that like button, and then you can go back to the Twitter side. Whatever makes you comfortable, right? But just make sure you smash that like button for me. It really helps the content grow. Chris Scott, what's going on? What's going on? Let me ask you guys a question. Who do you have more faith in? Who do you have more faith in? Kelly Ringo or Nakobe Dean? Who do you have more faith in? Kelly Ringo or Nakobe Dean? And tell me why. Who do you have more faith in? Kelly Ringo or Nakobe Dean? And I need to know why. All right, so this is fascinating. Wow. 88% of you guys say Ringo. Only 12% of you guys say Dean. Wow. So has Dean really lost all faith in Philadelphia? Has Nakobe Dean truly lost all the faith of the people? Wow. I'm seeing Ringo. I see N'Kobe. I see Dean here and there. But I'm mainly seeing Ringo. Flexen says Dean has shown nothing at all. The Gator Boy says health is a problem. Niners all damn day says Mean Green Dean season. I don't know how serious I should take that. Cody says, I'm excited to watch Ringo. He was impressive in small doses. I think he had one of the best 1v1 PFF grades against Tyreek Hill. I think you're talking about Eli Ricks. Keely Ringo had that good game against DK Metcalf. The Gator Boy says availability is the best ability. Antonio King says Ringo because he is injury-free thus far in his young career. So is it strictly health with you guys when it comes to Kobe Dean? Hector Martinez says Dean is too small. Ernest Wallace wants to give Dean another year. Tommy just hasn't seen enough of Kobe Dean's tape. Eagle Slayer is only giving Kobe Dean one more year to prove it to him. But so far, and we got 87 people in the live chat on YouTube, 53 on Twitter. But we only got 33 votes on the poll. Make sure you guys vote on the poll if you can. Who do you have more faith in? Keely Ringo or N'Kobe Dean? So far, Keely Ringo is dominating the voting. He's dominating the voting right now. Keely Ringo has 88% of your votes. Dean has 11% of your votes, or 89% for Keely Ringo, and Dean has 11%. So far, Keely Ringo is the favorite. So real quick, let's review their draft profiles. Let's review that. So Keely Ringo, when he got drafted, let's review the profile here. So they gave him the NFL or Next Gen Stats gave him a 6.39 prospect grade, meaning he will eventually become a starter. Okay. He ran a 4.3 40-yard dash, had a 33.5-inch vertical jump, a 10-foot 2-inch broad jump. Let's read some of the analysis about Keely Ringo, and this breakdown was done by Lance Zierlein. He's an NFL analyst. This is Keely Ringo's draft profile. We're reading it here. All right, there we go. I think that's big enough for you guys. All right, let's do it. So here's the details about Keely Ringo when he got drafted. And I want to know if you guys have seen this thus far. When it comes to Keely Ringo, they say he's a boundary corner with an impressive blend of size and athleticism. Ringo is uniquely suited to travel the field and match talents against some of the bigger targets in the league. He can press and does a nice job of controlling plays in front of him from off coverages. However, he is very average at anticipating breaks and transitioning with them to squeeze the top of the route. His physicality in coverage and in run support are big assets in his favor, but there is still work to be done in consistency of coverage. Ringo's traits will be highly coveted, and he has a chance to become a very good NFL cornerback if his route recognition continues to develop. So his strengths include elite size and strength for an outside corner, stays low and balanced in his back pedal, physicality to grind on the press release, plays with effortless, natural responses from the zone. Hip opening and transitions are generally smooth. High school sprint champ with excellent recovery speed. Approaches run support duties like a safety and fights through blocks and maintains run leverage. Now, here are some of the weaknesses for Kelee Ringo. Lack of patience against release leads to early hip declarations. Body control gets sloppy from side shuffle technique. Has trouble staying in phase with comeback routes. Allows coverage slippage during scrambles. Has issues consistently tracking deep balls. He's a step slow at anticipating breaks and transitioning laterally. Called for 9 penalties in 2022 per Pro Football Focus. So what I'm getting from this is his instincts need to improve. His instincts need to improve. He has all the physical tools that you like at the position, but his instincts, his anticipation has to improve. From a physical standpoint, I like Kelee Ringo. I think from top to bottom, he looks like the kind of corner you want. But he has to marry the athleticism with the technique. But I think Kelee Ringo can get better. And listen, when you got recovery speed, that gives you a lot of leeway in this league. All right, so let's look at Nakobe Dean's draft profile now. Here we go. Prospect grade says here they believed at the time Nakobe Dean would become a good starter within 2 years. He has a 6.4 prospect grade. Well, as of right now, he's entering year 3. And I mean, he was a starter, but did he really earn it? I can't say so. But I mean, we'll see what happens in the upcoming season. But he is undersized at the position. All right. So here's another analysis by Lance Zierlein. When it comes to an overview of Nakobe Dean's traits and skill sets, and again, this was his draft profile in 2022. He's explosive, a 3-down linebacker with the demeanor and quickness to become a volume tackler while holding down third down duties at a high level. Dean's play recognition is a work in progress, which limits reaction time and forces him to deal with more blockers than he'll see as he gains more experience. Quick feet and plus agility will bring him to ball carriers at a higher rate, but a lack of size and length means he'll need to fine-tune his approach as a tackler to make sure he finishes what he starts. He might lack measurables, but he has the toughness and technique to see a boost in his performance once his play becomes more proactive. Now let's read the strengths and weaknesses for Nakobe Dean when he was drafted. Explosive athlete with access to instant acceleration, piled up impact stats in the major categories, rarely voids gaps by running around a block, fearless to attack and fit a gap with force, hand snap to meet and play off the blocker, agility and quickness for effective lateral flow, patrols with excellent track down speed and range, runs through the ball carrier, athletic ability to cover backs out of the backfield, feet to match man routes or burst to targets from zone. Blitzes get home thanks to timing, burst, and leverage. So they're talking a lot about his agility, his fearlessness, his intensity, the explosion that he has. Right? You see, when you watch Nakobe Dean, you see the athleticism, but he can't stay healthy long enough for it to become a factor. So here's the weaknesses. Weaknesses. Built like a stocky back, lacking ideal size and length, which means he can get swallowed up by big body offensive linemen. Instincts and play diagnosis are just average. Triggers on an incomplete read. So he kind of just guesses. Tardy response allows climbing blocks a chance. Can be swallowed up when lingering on the second level. We've seen that a lot. Traffic seems to find him in lateral pursuit. Average stopping power and length as open field tackler. Inconsistent to body up and finish. So, again, Nakobe Dean is a player that still requires some development here. But it's going to be really difficult. It's going to be really difficult to develop a guy that can't stay on the field. No, Hector, of course. That's college, right? What I'm doing is that I'm trying to give us an idea of how they saw these two players previously and what we have seen them, or what we have seen from them. Iron Mike, what's going on, my friend? So that's all we're trying to do here. We're trying to get a sense for, and I apologize for the shaky connection, you guys. But what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get a sense for how they were viewed back then and what we're seeing today. If we've seen it, have we not seen it, so on and so forth. So overall, I mean, Nakobe Dean's size is a problem. It's a problem. We've seen it. And because of the lack of size, and look, I know he plays with intensity. I know he's a hard worker. I get that. But because of the lack of size, I don't know if he can hold up. He plays the game with force, but he can't hold. So far, his feet can't hold up. He's had an injury in the same foot. He ended up on IR twice in the same season. It's something that has to be discussed. So when I see that 52 of you guys out of 52 votes, 87% of you guys have more faith in Ringo, and only 13% of you guys have more faith in Dean, I get it. I understand it. I'm trying to think, what can Nakobe do? What can Nakobe Dean do in the offseason to get himself better prepared? Because he's not going to get taller. He's not going to get taller. I mean, he can put on more weight, but how would that impact the speed, the athleticism, right? He's not going to get taller. Chip season, you're funny, man. Jason A., you bring up Ben Van Sumeren. Let me look up his draft profile. All right. Ben Van Sumeren. Let's see what he has to offer. Because I never looked up his draft profile. And as a matter of fact, I don't even think he was invited to the combine, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So now Ben Van Sumeren, he brings some size, right? Ben Van Sumeren, 6'2", 237 pounds. You know, initially they graded him as a candidate for bottom of the roster or practice squad. As of right now, that's what he's been. It says here, Van Sumeren's production and game tape won't draw draftable grades, but he possesses extremely rare athletic attributes for his position, and that might create an opportunity with him. That might create an opportunity with a team coveting elite traits. He's not a thumper as a run defender, and his football instincts leave much to be desired. But if he can prove himself as a special teams contributor in camp, he could force a team to give him a year on the practice squad for additional development. His strengths include elite athletic testing results in line with what we typically see from receivers and cornerbacks. Has experience as both a linebacker and a fullback. Plenty of scrape and pursuit quickness to chase the football. Possesses athletic gifts to continue improving at his position. Able to run with backs in man coverage. Okay. Now his weaknesses. Much better tester than player on tape. Instincts are lacking. Hasn't learned to cause much mayhem with his athletic gifts. Struggles to take on blocks and leverage his run fits. Runs himself out of position in both phases. Loses track of coverage duties, allowing easy catches. So, look, as much as we like Van Sumeren, this is what they thought of him around draft time. And we've seen him play on the field, and I can definitely see what they're talking about when they say that he kind of gets lost in coverage. I can definitely see what they say when he's still figuring out how to use that athleticism. I get all that, but again, in this game, instincts, knowing where to be, proper technique gets you way further than just being athletic. It does. Athleticism might get you to the league, but technique, instincts, production, that keeps you in the league. So look, I don't know if Ben Van Sumeren makes this roster. He may be a practice squad guy. You never know. But the linebacker room is going to be extremely competitive with Devin White, Nakobe Dean, Zach Bond, Oren Burks, Patrick Johnson, Ben Van Sumeren, Brandon Smith, Julian Nakora. It's going to be very competitive. One player that I'm really looking forward to seeing on defense is I need to see if Nolan Smith is a player, because he's fallen under the radar, and we haven't really had any strong opinions about Nolan Smith just yet. We none of us have had real strong opinions about Nolan Smith. But Nolan Smith is a guy that's on the clock as well. He's entering year 2. 6'2", 238. So he has decent size at the position. A little undersized for the edge rusher role, but still, he was drafted in the first round, 30th overall, out of Georgia. 6'2", 238, 23 years old. It's about time he start making a name for himself too. Here's the funny thing about Nolan Smith. If you look at the stat sheet, it says here he played 17 games. But if you ask me, I didn't see all that. I didn't see it. He had a hard time staying on the field. He had a hard time making an impact. And there was plenty of times where I saw Nolan Smith trying to outspeed a tackle, but then he just gets he can't get off the block. He couldn't shed the block. And again, I apologize, you guys, for the shaky connection. But my biggest problem was I didn't see Nolan Smith being able to get off the block. The moment an offensive lineman got hands on him, he was done. So is that a motor issue? Is that a technique issue? Well, Eagle Slayer, then he didn't get home then. He didn't get home then. You can't make it to the front gate and say you home. No, you got to get in. You got to get in the house. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get home. He was knocking on the door, but he didn't get home. He didn't get in. He didn't sit down for family Sunday dinner. Knock, knock. Who's there? Nolan Smith. Sorry, you can't get in. Not enough, though. Not enough. Not enough. Look at this production. This is nothing. But I do believe he can. I believe he can get better. I don't want you guys to assume I'm down on him, because I'm not. But I do think he can get better. But he needs. I need to see more. He needs to get more opportunities on the football field. That's my thing. I felt like they didn't give him enough opportunities. That was my biggest problem. They didn't give him enough opportunities, in my humble opinion. All I wanted was the guy to get some opportunities. And I feel like they did not do that. And then on the back end of the season, all of a sudden, they wanted him to just turn up. And my thing is, damn, you didn't really get a guy, you didn't really give the guy any opportunities on the front end of the season to really show what he can do. Chin, I'm with you. I'm not judging him. I'm talking about what I saw, though. I'm not judging him, but I am talking about what I saw. Let's go. But to your point, though, let's go to the stats. I mean, the snap count. But before we do that, here are some of the advanced defensive numbers. So they hardly ever dropped him back in coverage. If you see this here, he was only targeted one time as a pass defender. So they don't drop him back in coverage. They don't do that. And you don't want him being dropped back in coverage. You don't want that at all. They brought him 10 times on the blitz. He only has one quarterback hurry. He has 2 quarterback knockdowns, 1 sack, 4 pressures. So pressures are hurries plus knockdowns plus all sack plays, half in full. Let's get to the snap counts. On defense in 2023, Nolan Smith only played 188 snaps on defense. Let's do some math. So it's saying here, Nolan Smith played 17 games. It's saying Nolan Smith played 17 games. So if he had 188 snaps through 17 games, you divide 188 by the 17 games. That's an average of 11 snaps per game. That's an average of 11 snaps per game. Nolan Smith averaged 11 snaps per game. Is that enough to judge a player? No, it's not. It's not. That's nothing. That's nothing at all. So I'm not here to say Nolan Smith is a player. I'm not here to say he's not a player. I'm not here to say either or, but what I am here to say is I need to see more. I need to see more from Nolan Smith because Nolan Smith is a player that I like. He's a player that I like. Well, he got Austin. He got hurt in the preseason. He played every regular season game. If you notice, he has 17 games played right there. He had 17 games played. So he didn't get hurt in the regular season. He had 17 games played. Now, nicked up is one thing, but he played in 17 games. He got hurt in the preseason. But overall, regardless of that, through 17 games played, 188 total defensive snaps, you're averaging 11 snaps per game. That's not enough. It's not enough. What do you guys think Sidney Brown's upside is? Because I like Sidney Brown. But I think Sidney Brown has to take his foot off the gas a little bit. I like Sidney Brown, but I think he needs to take his foot off the gas just a little bit. He got to take his foot off the gas just a little bit. You know what's so crazy about his injury? He didn't hurt himself doing anything reckless. That's the sad part about it, right? No, Sidney Brown was throwing his body around all year, and he gets hurt in the final game of the season on a freaking punt return. He didn't do anything reckless. That's the sad part about Sidney Brown's injury. He didn't do nothing reckless, and he tore his ACL. That's a very good that's a very good description, Eagle Slayer. He's like a slingshot. He is. I like that. But that's the crazy thing, man. Sidney Brown, you know, he's a player that I've been really excited to see develop. And obviously, the ACL injury kind of offsets his development just a little bit. I love his attitude. I love his approach to the game. I love the physicality he plays with. I love that he's fearless. But he didn't even get hurt being reckless. That's the craziest part about his injury. David Mac Perez, that's funny. He says Sidney Brown wants to cover his man and the other at once. See, Sidney Brown wants to win. By the way, what's going on, David? Hope all is well. Sidney Brown wants to do it all. He wants to do it all. But I think Sidney Brown needs to narrow his focus a bit, just take his foot off the gas, and he'll be okay. But overall, like I've been saying to you guys, the competition with the Philadelphia Eagles will be at an all-time high. In that cornerback room where you added Tyler Hall, you have Isaiah Rodgers coming back. You have Mekhi Gardner, who's trying to make the roster to go around. You got Eli Ricks, who's trying to keep his roster spot. Keely Ringo, Zach McPherson coming off of the injury. Josh Jobe, Mario Goodrich. All those guys are going to be competing for that nickel spot. But here's another thing too. We have no idea if the Eagles are going to put CJ Gardner-Johnson at safety or at nickel. What if we're all wrong, right? And instead of putting CJ at safety, you put him at nickel. And then the safeties are still Reed Blankenship and Sidney Brown. Is that a plausible scenario? Flash Gunshot, welcome to the show, my friend. Let me know if you're new here, my friend. I've never seen your handle. Welcome to the show. I hope you like the energy. I hope you like the vibes. Make sure you smash that like button, my friend, if you can. I really appreciate it. And also, if you like the content, make sure you subscribe, my friend. Going to keep pumping the content out, and I'm grateful for you being here, Flash Gunshot. So welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Great. Awesome, Flash. Awesome. If you want to check out any of the old content that we did yesterday and days prior, go check that out. We've been pretty much live almost every day. We've been dropping content pretty much every day. A lot of content for you to catch up on, my friend. But regardless, though, I'm glad you're here today, and I'm glad you're a part of the Chalk It Up family. I'm glad you're a part of the tribe, man. I'm glad you're a part of the tribe. My man PFT, he says our defense is good. We just need to answer the questions at linebacker. Trust Fangio. You're right about that. A lot of questions got to be answered. On paper, you say to yourself, okay, we got some things to work with. But they got to prove it. They got to prove it at the end of the day. But like you said, I think you openly acknowledge that, PFT, the fact that they got to answer the questions, especially at linebacker. And Vic Fangio, he's somebody that I'm watching closely. I hope so. Ernest. I hope so. Chin says, also, Bradbury's still on the roster. He thinks CJ plays safety and Rodgers in the slot. But listen, Rodgers has to compete too. Remember, Isaiah Rodgers has to compete. He's not guaranteed anything. No one's guaranteed anything. Like Devontae Parker, right? Just jumping to the offensive side real quick. Devontae Parker, the Eagles are only on the hook. The Eagles are only on the hook for 1.1 million, 1.2 million, and none of that is guaranteed. All his guaranteed money is going to come from the Patriots. So the Eagles don't owe Devontae Parker anything. So let's say they draft the wide receiver, right? Let's say they draft the wide receiver and he beats out Devontae Parker and all that kind of stuff. Then your wide receivers are AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Parris Campbell, and that rookie. And Devontae Parker probably gets cut. All this stuff is possible. But you're bringing in people, you're bringing in bodies to compete. And I can roll with that. Sorry, you guys, about the shaky connection once again. My the Wi-Fi's back and real funny today. Don't know what's going on, but I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for sticking it out. I really appreciate that. All right, so Rob Snyder says, "Hey Tone, what happened to your show with Rob and Sills?" Rob Snyder, thank you so much for locking in on the show, my friend. I appreciate you for being here. I no longer work for Jacob Sports. I no longer work for Jacob Sports. So Sports Take got canceled and I'm no longer on the Dan Cilio show. So yeah, that's pretty much the raw fact. Sports Take got canceled and I'm no longer employed by Jacob Sports. But the grind don't stop. And it's all love. I don't have anything bad to say about anybody, so it's all love. Nonetheless, can Kelly Green says, I think we still sign a safety in free agency. Everyone's hoping it's Simmons. Yeah, I know. And here's the thing, right? The longer Simmons is on the market, that price tag is going to continue to drop. It's going to continue to drop. That's all. The price of Simmons is just going to keep dropping. The longer he's out there, the better the chances are of the Philadelphia Eagles locking him up. And look, if they sign Simmons, I'm not going to be mad about it. I mean, do I have my own concerns about the age factor? Absolutely. But if they sign him, does that improve the safety room at face value? Absolutely. Absolutely. And look, you guys, all I can do is have a good attitude, man. That's all I can do. You know, you win some and you lose some. First of all, y'all know how we give it up here at Jacob Sport. I mean, y'all know how we give it up here at Chalk It Up Sports. Excuse me. Y'all know how we give it up here at Chalk It Up Sports. Where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. I won, I lost, and you charge it to the game. That's all. That's all it is. You win some, you lose some, but you live. You live to find another day. Shout out to Pops, RIP John Witherspoon. RIP John Witherspoon, man. We got 66 people live with us on the Twitter side. We have 86 people live with us on the YouTube side. I really appreciate all the love and the support you guys have been providing. It's been tremendous. We're going to be live for about maybe another 10 or 15 minutes. So I appreciate you guys for locking in on the show. You guys have been awesome. All the love you guys have been providing has been really tremendous. So I really appreciate all the support. Kay Allen says, your boy Seals got us going 7-10. What do you think? Nah, I disagree with that. I disagree with that. Prior to free agency, I had the Philadelphia Eagles as a 9-8 team. Prior to free agency, I had the Eagles going 9-8. After the moves they've made, and obviously they have to put things together, and obviously the defense has to, answer questions. We understand that. But just based off of the free agency moves, I think the Philadelphia Eagles have improved from a 9-8 team to about an 11 or 12 win team. I think the Eagles with this roster right now can win about 11 or 12 games. I think that. That's just my humble opinion, though. But also, Crawley, this schedule is harder than the 2021 schedule. Hold on, wait, Crawley. Ain't you the same dude that said Jalen Hurts is he's average, or what did you like? Hold on, wait, time's out. Ain't you the same one that said Hurts is average, or he doesn't make people better? Ain't you the one that said that? So which is it? Because he's mid, and I'm saying prior to free agency, they're going 9-8. At this point today, I think they won about 11 or 12 games. And this team was more talented than. I'm trying to figure out the disconnect, and we're trying to understand what I'm saying, Crowley. And I love you. I love you. But I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand the disconnect. At what part did I lose you? And Crowley, don't let flexing gas you up. Crawley, don't let flexing gas you up. He'll get you in trouble. Crawley, don't let flexing gas you up. He will get you in trouble. And don't act like he trash, Crawley. And don't act like he trash, Crawley. Don't act like he trash, Crawley. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. And that Bills And that Bills game, who won that? That Chiefs game, who won that? I love how y'all flip on them. I love that. I love that. I'm keeping receipts too. I love that. I love that. But hold on, wait. Y'all the same people talking about the defense got improved. So hold on, wait. Y'all picking and choosing how y'all want to approach this conversation. He should be going 15-2 easily. Bro, nobody's going 15-2 easily. What are you talking about? This is the NFL. What do you think this is? Pop Warner? What do you think this is? High school? What do you think this is? College? Nobody going 15-2. If you've been locked into the content, you know I talk about how good this roster is and how the pressure is on. Come on now, don't act brand new. You've been here. Don't act brand new. You've been here. You've been here. I've been saying that the pressure is on. I've been saying that. He got talent. He got a lot of it. So he should be good to go on his side. Come on, man. 15-2 is crazy. You know how hard it is to go 15-2? You know how hard it is? And look, y'all see what he's doing? He talking about Mahomes. He talking about Mahomes, the alien in the NFL. He's comparing Jalen Hurts to the only alien in the league. Yo. At the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, man, stop blazing them white boys. Stop blazing them. Stop blazing them. Now I'm using y'all language now. Stop blazing them. Stop it. Stop blazing them. I'm using y'all language now. Stop. Mahomes is an alien. He's an alien. Come on, man. Stop it. My point is this, right? You can nitpick Jalen Hurts' talent all you want. You can nitpick his talent all you want. But who's won more games? Jalen Hurts or Justin Herbert? You keep talking about Carson Wentz. Carson is gone. Carson is gone. Let it go. Let it go. Carson is gone. Let it go. Let it go. Carson is dead and gone. Be gone. You hold on, wait. You ain't Charles Barkley. You just somebody that looked like him. Be gone. Be gone. Come on, man. Stop it. But look, the bottom line is you can nitpick Jalen Hurts' skill set all you want. This game is about wins and losses. Wins and losses. This game is about wins and losses. See, this is the part when guys like Crawley fuck up, right? This is where they fuck up. Right? They think I'm making excuses for the turnovers. I'm not making excuses for it at all. It's unacceptable. That's when guys like Crawley get lazy, right? They think we're making excuses on this side. They think that 19 turnovers is okay. I ain't worried about flexing. He thinks that I think 19 turnovers is okay. But if you've been watching the content, you know how much I hold that against him. I put him to the mat because of that. LJ, you funny, man. LJ, you funny as hell. You know what, LJ, you paid for it. You paid. LJ, you paid. I gotta be a man of my word. You paid. LJ, you donated. I gotta be a man of my word. LJ, I swear. LJ, I swear on everything I love. LJ, if I give you this damn wrench, you better be on your best behavior, LJ. LJ, I'm telling you right now, you better be on your best behavior. Because if I give you this wrench and you start showing your ass, I'm gonna have to take it. I'm telling you right now. LJ, you better be on your best behavior, okay? You better be on your best behavior. We shaking on it? Are we gonna shake on it? We shaking on it? Come on. Let's shake on it. LJ, listen, you're one click away from getting your wrench. Let's shake on it. Let's be men about it. All right. You shook on it. Hey, listen, everybody saw it, right? Y'all all saw it. We just shook on it. All right, LJ. All right, there we go. There we go. It's done. It's done. It's done now. We all witnessed it. Now, LJ, everybody in this live chat gonna hold you accountable. And all my other people with their wrenches gonna hold you accountable, LJ. LJ, it's on you now. It's on you now. Yo. With great power comes great responsibility. But overall, look, y'all, man, I don't want y'all to think me and Crawley going at each other, man. I like Crawley. Crawley's my guy. Crawley comes to the show every day. He's supportive. He smashes the like button. He's subscribed. You know, I don't want you guys thinking me and Crawley got beef. I fuck with Crawley. Crawley's my guy. Don't get it twisted, y'all. Me and Crawley, it's all love. It's all love. But we just debating. We just see it differently. That's all. Right, Crawley? That's all it is. We just see it differently. That's all it is. We just see it differently. Hey, Crawley, we got love, but don't let flexing do that to you. Flexing is an asshole. Okay, so you gotta watch him. You gotta watch flexing because when he's on your side, or when he's when he's not on your side, you gotta watch him. Flexing will switch up on you. Flexing will switch up on you. You gotta. Hey, listen, flexing. I love you too. But watch it. Flexing is slick with it. Flexing will maneuver. Oh man. Oh shit. But overall, man, listen, man, I always have fun with you guys. This show is truly nothing without the beautiful people. It really, you guys truly help the content grow. You guys have been so You guys have been so giving to me. You guys show a lot of love to the show, and I don't take it for granted at all. Not one bit, man. We got 127 likes, man. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. It means a lot to me. Make sure you guys also hit that notification bell. The notification bell will help you be aware whenever I drop content. Now I do want to give you guys a quick heads up. Next week, the content, the scheduling is going to be a little different. I'm going to be doing more live streams in the evening next week, and not as many around lunchtime. So I just want to give you guys the heads up that next week is going to be a little different. We're going to have more shows in the evening rather than lunchtime. Okay. My schedule is going to change a bit. So I just want to let you guys know that. I'm going to give you guys exactly, some more details about scheduling, throughout the weekend, especially as I iron it out. But I just want you guys to know that the shows next week are going to be, there's going to be more in the evening and less at lunchtime. That's all it is. That's all. But yeah, man. Like I said, I appreciate you guys for locking in on the content. Let's do a quick recap. The Philadelphia Eagles, they signed wide receiver Parris Campbell. He's 6'1", 205 pounds, 26 years old. Played college ball at Ohio State. He's a 5-year veteran. Spent 4 seasons with the Colts from 2019 to 2022 and 1 season with the Giants in 2023. Through his 5-year career, he's logged 117 catches on 171 targets, just over 1,000 receiving yards total for his career. Averages just over 9 yards a catch, 5 touchdowns. He's put that up through 44 total games and 27 starts. His most productive season, Parris Campbell's most productive season came in his final year with the Colts in 2022, where he put up 63 catches on 91 targets, 623 receiving yards, averaged 10 yards a catch, three touchdowns, and he did that through 17 games played and 16 starts. And Campbell was directly going to challenge Devontae Parker for reps. So that's going to be really exciting to see. Also, the Philadelphia Eagles signed former Raiders nickel corner Tyler Hall. He's 5'10", 190 pounds, 25 years old. Played college ball at the University of Wyoming. Through his 4-year career, he's logged only 31 games and 6 career starts. He primarily spent his time operating in the nickel role for the Atlanta Falcons, the Rams, and the Las Vegas Raiders. And he spent 78% of his total snaps on defense as a nickel corner. He does have some special teams experience, but he got primarily most of his defensive reps over the past 2 seasons in 2022 and 2023 with the Las Vegas Raiders. And he immediately adds to the cornerback depth, especially at nickel. The Eagles cut Avonte Maddox, and even when Maddox was here, they dealt with a lot of injury. So overall, it was a revolving door in that nickel role with Mario Goodrich, Bradley Roby, James Bradbury, and Sidney Brown in 2023. So can Tyler Hall compete for that starting nickel spot? Can he compete with Isaiah Rodgers? It's entirely plausible. Also, keep in mind that Tyler Hall, he ran a 4.4. He ran a 4.440 at his Wyoming Pro Day. So he has some speed. So overall, Tyler Hall is here to compete for that nickel. And then finally, they did sign former Saints D tackle / nose tackle PJ Mustipher. He's 6'4", 318 pounds, 24 years old. Played college ball at Penn State. In 2023, he was signed as an undrafted free agent to the Denver Broncos. He stayed on their practice squad up until December, until he was picked up by the New Orleans Saints and added to their active roster for the remainder of the year. He appeared in 4 games for the Saints, where he registered 42 defensive snaps totally played. And during his time at Penn State, he was a first team and second team AP Big Ten selection, respectively, in 2021 and 2022. So overall, here's the thing: the Eagles are trying to add competition to the room, and the Eagles have signed Devontae Parker. They've signed Parris Campbell. They signed those two guys before bringing back Quez Watkins. So Quez Watkins is done. He's not coming back to the city. I think that's over with. I see them drafting another wide receiver before they bring Quez Watkins back. So overall, I think Quez Watkins is finito. But there you have it, you guys. The competition is at an all-time high. There's plenty of competition in the linebacker room with Devin White, Nakobe Dean, Zach Bond, Julian Okora, Oren Burks, Patrick Johnson. You know, there's so much competition in the linebacker room. Ben Van Sumeren, so much competition. So that's going to be really exciting to watch. A lot of competition at the nickel spot with Tyler Hall, Isaiah Rodgers, Zach McPherson, Mario Goodrich, Eli Ricks, Josh Jobe, a ton of competition. Keely Ringo. So we're going to see how that plays out as well. And Parris Campbell, Devontae Parker are definitely going to be competing for reps and grass time. And it's straight like that, you guys. I appreciate all the love and the support you guys have been giving me over the past several days. It's been tremendous. Shout out to my man LJ with the $2 super chat, man. Remember LJ, be on your best behavior, okay? Shout out to my man LJ. Shout out to Cody. I really appreciate the $5 super chat, Cody. Is always love with you, my friend. And shout out to my man S Blunt with the $9.99 super chat, my guy. It's always love, and I really appreciate the support you guys have provided me since I've been back and rebuilding my own channel. So overall, you guys, you take care. You guys continue to love on your family. Continue to love on your loved ones, your friends. Try to be the best version of yourselves. To the best of your ability. Okay. No feat, no task is too big. Okay. So continue to put in good work, people. Continue to be the best version of yourself for your people. And it's straight like that. And like Niners said, man, the Cowboys still trash. The Cowboys still stink. And don't forget, Niners, the 49ers, y'all shitty too. But it's all love. Flexing and stepping, my man. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat, my guy. I really appreciate the love and support. You guys are really a part of this community that we're building here. And it's straight like that. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II. And you guys have been locked in on Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game.